We all know why we're here. You know, we're here for a man who inspired many people in the rugby field. But when he got MND, he inspired the world about how strong he was as an individual. Rob Wainwright and I played with Doddie. He was a real character, on and off the field. And I think that's something that's got to come through in this whole trip. His character, his fun, we've got to enjoy it.
So I first sort of met Doddie, it was Stirling against Melrose. He was probably 18 and I was just sort of coming into the under-18s. He was a character and a half. He was a farmer too, which made a difference to me. You know, I was a farmer's son, he was a farmer's son, so we got on really well from the start. It's when these guys just walk behind you and give you a hit in the head and you'd follow him wherever he was going.
It seems like Doddie properly put his arm around Kenny and probably saw a kindred spirit, somebody who liked to laugh, was quite the life and soul, which Doddie definitely was.
It's going to be hard. Sometimes we're going to have to dig deep, but just think why we're doing it. You know, the big man.
To mark the first Rugby World Cup since Doddie's passing, Kenny has drawn up plans for a unique fundraising challenge to honour his friend by raising funds for the My Name’5 Doddie Foundation towards their continued fight against MND.
You know, I've done loads of dinners and golf days and, you know, loads of stuff which is, you know, reasonably easy to do. I suppose with him not being there, it made it more important for me to try and get as much exposure as we could and try and make a big impact. I was going to walk from John O'Groats to Land's End, because that's going to take 6 weeks. People will be bored of listening to you. Good point.
He came home from his office one day and said that this was the plan. They were going to cycle and walk from Edinburgh to Paris.
My aim was to cycle it and then walk at the end of it. And then the guy said, you won't be able to get past day 2, you'll be knackered. So then we sort of came up with 2 teams, with a cycle team and a walking team, and just keep changing. And then I sort of ran it past a couple of people, Martin Wilson for one. He said, oh, don't know about that. And I was like, well, I'm hoping that you're going to do it with me. And he sort of looked at me. I was like, yeah.
From then on, all the energy started building towards how that was going to come off and who was going to take part and what kind of goals he had, which his first figure, which became the kind of target figure, was all the 5s. Doddie obviously wore 5, so that felt like a great number, but also really significant.
And that was it. And then we sort of like started talking to my team and Zeus and other people and started to build it all. And I must admit, my first day of training the bike, I've been the bike for 10 years. I was like, oh my God, I was really knackered. I was blowing. And I thought, oh my God, I've got to do 600 miles.
Starting from Murrayfield Stadium in Edinburgh, the home of Scottish rugby, where Kenny and Doddie enjoyed so many special memories together, the week-long challenge culminates at the Stade de France in Paris, with the aim of delivering the match ball to the final Pool B match between Ireland and Scotland, alongside Doddie's son, Hamish, watched by millions of rugby fans. Each day, the challengers will tackle around 100 miles, with participants split into 2 teams and alternating between walking days and cycling days. And so the challenge was set. A 700-mile walk and cycle from Edinburgh to Paris during the Rugby World Cup, with the target of raising £555,555 for the My Name’5 Doddie Foundation in honour of the number 5 Doddie Weir.
One thing we do is to help each other. And if somebody's needing to be talked to, we talk to them. Staff, somebody's disrespectful, you tell me, Foxy will deal with it. We have got a little room and we've got balaclavas.
Making up the group taking on the challenge are several of Doddie's friends and family, former rugby players and ex-teammates of the 2 Scottish stars, people affected by MND, plus some of Kenny's closest friends and colleagues from throughout the business and sporting world. Together, they were all answering the call to join the ride and play their part in taking the fight to MND.
That's what our mission is. Our mission is to rack up as many miles as we can, as well as awareness, so we can take the fight to MND and hopefully win. It's going to get tough, it's going to get difficult, and you're going to be in dark places. And it's when you're in those dark places that you need to remember the reason why we're doing it, because there's people in a lot darker place than we will ever be on this. They are on the front line and we are their support. It doesn't matter whether we're cycling, walking, in the vehicles, whatever it is that your job is on this, we are supporting the people at the pointy end of this battle.
Amongst the team are a band of celebrity stars, captained from the start by TV personality Jason Fox, the former Special Forces soldier and Royal Marine Commando, knowing exactly what is required to take on a challenge of this magnitude. Next to answer the call was Scottish football icon Ali McCoist, a much-loved commentator and radio pundit, always on hand to lighten the mood and keep up morale. Actor Jamie Bamber, best known for his roles in Battlestar Galactica and Law & Order UK, is also saddling up for the full ride down to Paris. Kenny's wife, Gabby Logan, joins the challenge at the halfway stage, alongside fellow television presenter Kirsty Gallagher and actor James Nesbitt on the way to the finish line.
Something else that I want you to take a little bit of strength from, no matter how dark your times are, I will always have the darkest time at the end of the day because I've got to share a room with that right there.
So the start at Murrayfield was a bit weird because it was a Sunday, it was really quiet and everybody was there and everybody was a bit nervous because the walkers have got to go and do 16 miles. We've got to do 105 or 108 miles. We're all a bit nervous. And Kathy was there and there was a lot of supporters turned up.
Right, so if the walkers can get down.
Take a knee, lads.
That's it.
Oh, hear the cracks.
That's it. And look back at Ali.
Oh.
I know he's got. That's it. That's the one. That's the one.
We should get your hands off my hips, please.
Put a man's hand on you, Kenny.
I'm loving it. Are we all in? Love you.
We'll see. Love you loads.
Right.
Well done for you doing this.
And the start was quite emotional. We all got up and going and, you know, we had these big billboards. I mean, we thought we'd have one billboard going up over the country and we ended up having 105 billboards. And then they sort of mentioned it was like 12 million people would see these billboards, so it sort of really hit home then that how quickly this was becoming quite a big event.
Yeah! Freedom! How you doing?
Say hello.
Nice to meet you. You brought me something. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. That is brilliant. Is that from your own pocket money? It's going to be easy. We're going on the ferry for 6 hours and then we cycle all the way from the ferry to Paris. And I'll come and show you this watch. So this here is the match ball. So when you watch the game on Saturday, that's the ball. Feels that, isn't it? Fingers crossed we get there. Yeah.
Once we got going, we came out of Edinburgh and we saw this hill. It was like that. We could see it for miles. Fox was going, "Seen that hill?" I went, "Yeah, no." And we cycled for another 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and the hill was not getting any closer. But we were going steeper and steeper, and then we hit this hill. Jesus. That's when we realised the challenge has now started, lads.
goes in. Doddie Weir smashes further. Weir has scored. Doddie Weir is the man who's over. His 4th try for Scotland.
George Wilson Weir was born on July the 4th, 1970 in Edinburgh, Scotland. He was the eldest of 4 children, born into a proud farming family, and was affectionately known by Scottish nickname Doddie from a young age. He was brought up on Courtleferry Farm, near the village of Stow, in the Scottish borders. A talented athlete and lover of horses, he competed at local equestrian events along with his sister Kirsty, even going on to represent Scotland at national level. But it was with rugby union that he found his greatest sporting success, gaining selection for Edinburgh schools before moving on to play senior rugby with his local club Melrose in 1989, where he won 6 Scottish championships. Over the course of a successful 16-year career, Doddie Weir played over 250 professional matches and won 61 international caps from his beloved Scotland, scoring 19 points from 4 tries. He played in 3 World Cups, including a semi-final in 1991 against England and a quarter-final against New Zealand in 1995. He shared in the last 5 Nations title won by Scotland and also made 6 appearances for the Barbarians side. Post-retirement, Doddie settled back into life as a farmer with his wife Kathy and 3 sons, Hamish, Angus and Ben. Their 300-acre farm only a stone's throw away from Doddie's birthplace.
He was always happiest at home on the farm. Whether it's on a quad bike, diking, fencing, he would always find a job to be done. He did a lot of other things which probably is better known for, but yeah, he really was a farmer at heart. Doddie and tractors. Doddie was definitely a green John Deere man. That was him.
In 2019, he was awarded an OBE by Queen Elizabeth II for services to rugby, MND research and the Borders community. And he was also inducted into the Scottish Rugby Hall of Fame, cementing his status as a true great of the game.
I look at him as dad, you know, not this kind of rugby player or ambassador, but the first thought I have is dad. I think the first word that would come to mind is pride. You kind of look at what he's done and how he took the challenge head on. The first word would be how proud I am.
That was a big spicy hill back there.
That hill was murder. That hill.
Murder.
That's murder. Davies, where is Davy? Davy's unbelievable.
Davy, who's on the challenge, got M&D. I have one funny line. Don't know if we can keep it in, but we're going up this hill. It's like that. And there's Foxy, SAS, strong as an ox. Brilliant. Going up the hills. He's going up the hill. I'm going up the hill. Davy, right past us all. I'm going as hard as I can. Get near Davy. Keeps going. Get near Davy. Jamie Bamber gets near Davy. Davy gets to the top. We're all like...
Davy, you're unbelievable on the bike. Never mind having M&D.
No, thank you.
Please take that in the right way.
Foxy comes up and goes, thank God you've got M&D. Imagine what you'd be like with it. And we all went like that. And he went, oh, and Davy just burst out laughing.
That's me.
Foxy was a bit embarrassed, but that's the sort of thing Doddie would have loved. You know, that was the sort of crack we wanted. And it was brilliant. And Davy couldn't stop laughing about it. And Foxy's going, sorry, Davy.
It's great, that's what we're here. That's the crack. That's what Doddie always said as well. That is got M&D.
My name is Davy Jiv. I'm now 36 years old and I'm from Edinburgh. I've got 4 amazing brothers, a beautiful, amazing wife, a cheeky, inquisitive little son called Alexander, and I was diagnosed with motor neuron disease in 2018 at the age of 30. That news was devastating when you're in your prime of life and you're given the diagnosis that you've got an incurable neurological terminal condition. It was hard news to take for me and my family. The facts are, when you're diagnosed, that you're most likely to be dead or on a ventilator within 2 years. But here I am, 6 years later. So in the grand scheme of things, I'm doing pretty well. My MD is spreading all over, but fortunately for me, it's sort of isolated mostly to my upper body. My hands don't work. So the dexterity and details of life are very difficult for me. So there's some things I can't do anymore. Ask me to get keys out of my pocket, to pick up change, to write my name with a pen. These things are difficult for me. However, ask me to ride 100 miles on a bike, I can do that no problem. So there's highs and lows, but I focused on the positives and what I can do rather than what I can't. 105 miles, Edinburgh to Morpeth, a few bumps in the way. The team are amazing though. You know, we had this collective, steadfast reason about why we're doing this. It's to raise awareness, it's to raise money, but it's to have fun and inject humour. It was a great day out.
Good cows. Good cows. Cows. Come on, come on. Yeah, it's that cleat. That cleat. Hey. What happened? That cleat just came out. Just chinned myself on the camera. Boys, well done. Look after that.
Come on, big man. Well done, buddy.
104 miles I think we've done. 600 to go. The boys have done great. It's been brilliant day, hard work, but really enjoyable. Tomorrow we've got a 16-mile walk I think we've got to do. Fantastic. So I'm hoping give my bum a bit of a rest because I could do with it.
You don't want to cycle.
Well done, my man.
Well done, you boys.
Brilliant.
Tough.
The future for Davy Jiv. Well, you know, my end game is certain. In terms of MMD will catch up with me. But I'm doing everything in my power to hold it at bay. Keeping fit, keeping positive, living well, drinking good wine. These things protect me from the most of it. But it's been very difficult for my family, particularly when I'm thinking about, you know, my son's future and how he's going to grow up with a dad who's living with this. But it's had a real marked influence of how we live our lives. You know, there's two ways of looking at this diagnosis. One, I was so unlucky. It was like being struck by lightning to get MMD when you're 30. But the news I got then was, you're likely to be dead or on a ventilator in 2 years. And here I am, 5, almost 6 years later now. It's taught all of us to live without compromise, fulfill our days, grip life how you want, go off and get it. and live every day to the best of our abilities.